What's good, y'all? Welcome into the TraKCouts podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about music and life with the people living it. I'm your host, Code Red. With me, as always, my co-host, Scorpio. What's poppin', bro?
What's the word with it? We got one.
We do. Hey, check it out. Artists, producers, engineers, creatives in general. We're interviewing them every other Wednesday we drop in. Make sure you subscribe or like or whatever the hell you're listening on so you know when we drop. But our guest today is one of the hottest artists coming out of Kansas City right now. He's also a chart-topping producer and dope multi-instrumentalist. His new single, Dance in the Rain, is out now along with the new video on YouTube. Please welcome to the podcast, Eelmatic. What's up, bro?
Man, what up, y'all? I appreciate y'all having me, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
For real.
So,
can we talk about the name Eelmatic? Because, I mean, obviously everybody knows Eelmatic, but so how did this come? Where did you get the name from, bro?
Oh, man, so at first, I was making beats in the dorm room, man. And I was going by Lee Major, and I had put a beat out either on Twitter or YouTube or somewhere, and then I had a guy named Lee Major who had placements already with like Lil Wayne. He's like, man, somebody sent me this and they thought I made it. So then I said, damn, I can't have the same name as somebody else. So that's when I went to our family group chat and I was like, man, I need some name ideas. And my sister Jasmine was like, Eelmatic. I was like, man, let's go with it. Which is like, my real name is Lee. So she just put the Lee backwards and kind of made like a word play.
That's hard.
On Nas's, his whole vibe. So I kind of took it from there. And just,
Okay, that's hard. That's hard. I fuck with it now that I know your name is Lee. Backwards, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know the thing.
Shout out to Jasmine, man. She came up with it. So.
And it stuck. That's hard.
For sure.
There's probably like 2,000 Code Reds, bro, but I really just don't give a fuck.
For real?
Yes, bro.
Well, this the first one I heard of. This the real Code Red.
Let's
right
go.
here.
Let's go.
This the real one for sure.
Same with Scorpio too, low key. How many Scorpios is there,
there's
bro?
hella, bro.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, I know there's one other Scorpio season. I've seen it.
Oh, like dead ass Scorpio season.
Scorpio
Spelled the
season?
same way.
Dang.
But there's hella other Scorpios too. I mean,
Yeah, it don't. I feel like it matter, but it ain't that deep.
Nah, for real.
It ain't that deep.
Yeah.
But as a producer, I feel like that lane is so slim. I kind of want to have my own. Like, and he already there. You feel me? He was already there. He already had his
Now that's
placements,
different. If there was
so
like
I wasn't trying to.
if there was like a big ass producer named Code Red, I'd probably be like, okay, you know, I can't do
for
that.
sure.
But
Yeah.
I kind of felt like that with like, I was confused at first because at one point there was that tag that Weezy out of here. And Weezy, I'm like, okay, shit, Lil Wayne making beats now?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
making beats.
Weezy hard, man. Shout out to
Weezy tough on me.
Tough.
Yeah.
For sure.
let's talk about the new single, Brody, Dance in the Rain.
Yeah, Dance in the Rain. Man, I had wrote that song probably like 3-4 weeks ago. And
From now.
Yeah, from now.
Damn, so you move quick on everything on it.
Yeah, I tried to. Like, I'm very like impulsive. Like, especially when it comes to music, I could have a whole album done, but if I sit on it too long, I have a whole another 12 songs ready to go, which is kind of what I feel like I'm going through right now. But I wrote that song, man, and it was just about persevering through hard times. You know, I lost my grandfather, and I hadn't wrote about it yet, man. I took some time to let it kind of sit in and kind of just put them emotions into Dance in the Rain and thought about all my loved ones. I got cousins out here having babies, so a lot of the people's names that I mentioned in that song is, you know, kind of like a dedication to them, you know, to let them know, like, we ain't forgot about you. We ain't forgot about Auntie. We ain't forgot about my boy who I played ball with. Rest in peace, Dre. His anniversary just passed, man. Solid dude, played football with him. But yeah, that song was just really about persevering through the rain. Like, it's gonna rain in your life, bro, but you gotta dance in the rain if you want to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, you can't give up. You can't hang your head too long. You got to keep moving. So
Yeah.
that's what that song is really about.
And the video was really like family focused as well.
Yeah.
And so you just had another kid not too long back, right?
Yeah. Baby boy, finna be 3 months, man, coming up. I just had him in April. So, man.
And how many kids you got now?
3.
3 kids?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think you might be like the first father that we've had on the podcast, no cap.
Oh,
So,
man, yeah.
So
Shout out to all the dads, man.
Yeah.
Take care of your kids, bro. If you ain't take care of your kids, you need to switch it up, bro. Do something with your life, bro, because that's most important.
Yeah.
So,
So you're talking about the theme of this song, you know. is fatherhood like brought on like kind of that like introspective view of like what's going on with the family and shit?
Well, yes, and man, a lot of the times, bro, I think about like I got another song called "You Was Supposed to Be Here," which is not a single, but that song is more so dedicated to, my grandfather and then my children as well, because my grandfather has never gotten a chance to meet any of them. So, like, that video is just the whole full circle moment. Like, I remember being a little boy and my granddad was like, man, when you have a son, you gonna name him Lee Allen Spike the fourth. I'm the third. So I was always like, yeah, I am. All right. Well, the day came and I had a boy and I named him and he wasn't there to witness it. So it was just kind of like paying homage to him, so.
Yeah.
If that answers your question.
Well, how has fatherhood impacted you as a musician then?
Man, it's one of the things, bro. My music is so raw, bro, and it to the point where it's one of them things like I don't never want my message, my flaws to come off as like promotion, but I also want my boys to know I'm a man and daddy struggles as well. As much as I love the Lord, these are my struggles, or these are struggles of men, that aren't talked about. I like to sing and talk about struggles that people don't, so that is one of the things that I do want to be, like careful about, because a lot of times if you sing something in a song, people will take that as like, oh, he's promoting it. When I'm just singing, this is my story.
Yeah.
Or this is a story that I've witnessed, That's the point, is not to, that's the most important message I want my kids to get from my music, is that, man, you can be a man, you can be solid, and you don't have to put up this image that you a perfect individual. We all flawed. And, by the grace of God, we still here. So that's really what I want to implement in them, is not to be like a judgmental person or think you better than the next person because you don't struggle with what they struggle with. So it's kind of trying to find a balance between doing the right thing, promoting the right thing, and also being real and present in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like really like an honest view, you know what I mean? And like you really feel that in the music as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
So like, dancing in the rain, singing through the pain, like thinking about your grandfather and all that, got Lee the Fourth. This is a question for both of y'all too. Mm-hmm. Does pain make for better art, or does it drive the art to be better, through the artist, if it's like coming from not a place of hurt, but like a place of like struggle or shit that you've seen, like you're saying, you know what I'm saying?
I believe anything that impacts you in a major way is gonna shape the way you make art. Mm-hmm. If it's any type of art, bro, I feel like it's who you are. It's gonna come out of, you feel me? And whatever way you put out, you're gonna release whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever struggles or whatever, I guess, challenges you have, you're gonna speak about it or present it in a way in the music. And I feel like it does make for, if you mean, when you say better, if you mean like more real.
I don't even know,
because
like,
for me, that's what kind of makes music. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The relatable, if it's real, if sometimes I approach music as, even if I'm like telling a story, bro, but it'll be so vivid, so detailed, so like, understandable that people can relate to it. Mm-hmm. It has to be relatable. Like, so if what you're going through is relatable, which 9 times out of 10 it is, everybody in the experience probably about the same stuff, it's gonna hit. So
for sure, I feel that same way, because like if you put more, I ain't gonna say like pain makes the music better, but pain allows you to approach music with a little bit more reality. That'll make, because like when I started changing my music and being just more real about what I was going through, started having people hit me up that mess with my music, and I didn't expect them to mess with it, but they did, just because they related to it too. Yeah. Rather than just like, a lot of music now is just some hype stuff, for real, just some party music. But if you put a little bit more of that realness, like that's how you get a bigger kind of connection to the listener.
Yeah, that's real. You gotta write what you feel and what people, what emotion does this. That's how I write. What emotion does this beat provoke in me? You know, if that makes sense. Like, I grew up listening to a lot of Drake, bro, in high school. So that was the go-to for me. That's one of them ones, bro, for real. So you hear a lot of that influence in my music as far as like heartbreak and relationship issues that nobody really like to speak about. That's the kind of stuff that I dive into.
Do you think it's easier to, you know, tap into what you got going on and write some real shit, or is it easier to just spit out like a party record?
I think it's easier to write some real shit.
For real.
Facts, because it's like, it's my real account. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can really speak freely.
Yeah.
It's easier to make, but sometimes I feel like it's harder to present. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. It present as far as like getting eyes on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because we in the time and age where, bro, everybody want to party, so
Facts.
everybody want to turn up, but it come a moment in life where you gonna sit down and really think about where you are and what you did, what you could have did better, and that's when we come in. You feel me?
Yeah,
with that real life bag. Yeah. So,
you were talking about the most recent single that you did. You did it like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you engineering, producing all that yourself?
Yeah, I for the most part, man, I work with not a lot of other, but I work with some key other producers, man. Shout out to Boxhead in Atlanta. I do a lot with him. Shout out to TNT. I do a lot with him. Shout out to my boy Trey. I just recently started cooking up with him. We got some shit in the vault. But mostly, for the most part, I do produce all my music. That's just because, bro, I play. So if I hear something and I like it, I'd just rather go and do it myself and get the sound I initially had, the idea I initially had in my head, and bring it to life. But
so Dance in the Rain, you produced all by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I did.
And so the production on that, it starts off with like that vocal sample.
Yeah.
That like gospel vocal sample.
Yeah.
Did you just rip the vocals from that and play the keys on it? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, I ripped the vocals, man. Shout out to rest in peace to Bishop Clean, who was a phenomenal gospel singer. That was one of the childhood songs that I grew up on, bro. So at that time, what I was going through, bro, that song was really encouraging. So yeah, I stripped the vocals and put some piano behind it and added drums. So.
Yeah, it's dope too, because I went and listened to the original by Mr. Clean, and it was like completely different than what you had done. Like you had flipped it completely. You just took the vocal, which was hard.
Yeah, that's how I do a lot of my beats, actually.
You be swagging them samples on me.
Yeah,
man, that's love, bro.
For sure.
I be trying.
So as somebody that plays, keys, I see you play guitar. Like, are you? It's just what I see.
Yeah.
Are you somebody that
you don't probably see me airplay the guitar? Wait, nah. You don't probably see me. I think I got one video I would be playing the guitar.
The acoustic?
Yeah, the acoustic video.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Man, my dad, he is the real guitarist, man. If y'all need guitar loops producers, tap in with me, man. I'm gonna connect you with my dad. He's one of the coldest guitar players, bro. But my guitar playing is not sharp. Like I'll do things with the guitar. Like if I need something fast, I might tune it to the chord I'm trying to play, because I know piano, so I can tune the notes and just play like an open. You feel me? Or I can do like little one-liners. Yeah. But I'm not a guitar player. Most of my playing, if I do use guitar, it's probably gonna come from a plug-in. If it ain't my dad or me fingering around on something trying to figure it out. But
okay,
I'm not like you can't label me as a guitar player. You feel me? But I definitely have picked up that guitar.
All right, but you definitely a keys player, because I've first person and seen you tear that up.
Nah, that's love. I
So,
appreciate that.
like, are you reaching for like the keys and MIDI first when you're making beats, or like you hear a sample and that's what kicks it off?
Yeah, it's gonna be well, it's kind of both. If I don't have a sample idea, I'm definitely gonna start with some sort of keys, whether it be like a pad or, man, programs I use like Keyscape. I just got in the Xenology. Shout out to LA the brother, man. He actually put me on Xenology.
He puts me on all kinds of shit, bro, for real.
Sauce.
And that, man, I ain't gonna give away his sauce on here. Xenology is one of them ones. Keyscape I use, and then I use like Reason stock pianos too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the DAW. I'm used to working in the Reason. Don't nobody really.
So you cook up in Reason.
Yeah,
You might be the only one I know that's doing that.
Yeah, Reason is.
That's what you've always been working in?
Yeah, bro. Since the beginning, I've experimented in like GarageBand and Logic, and I've tried Fruity Loops. I was so young when I did though, so
Yeah.
ever since
That's
my
why you call
dad
it
got
Fruity
me,
Loops.
FL Studio, yeah. Man, that's showing my age, but man, ever since my dad bought me Reason, I've been using that since.
For sure.
It's been holding it down.
So
I've been using Reason since before VSTs was allowed, third party.
Crazy.
Like
So the recording and mixing of your music that you're doing that all in Reason also?
everything in Reason.
Okay, well-
I just recently tapped into Pro Tools, but I'm not as comfortable with it. So like I got engineers like my homegirl Vic in Atlanta who gave me a dope preset. I just brought it into Reason. Now I use it in Reason, which might be a little bit of a handicap. I'm still trying to work my way around Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Reason been holding it down.
Okay. I haven't used Reason, so I can't have much of an opinion on it, to be honest.
Nah,
But I love Pro Tools.
Man,
to death.
Reason the greatest DAW if you ask me. Unpopular opinion, but I'm taking Reason all day, every day.
What all DAWs have y'all worked with?
Pro Tools and Logic, you know me, that's my main two.
Yeah.
I used to be in Fruity Loops, like bro said, like when it was Fruity Loops. I tried to dabble with FL Studio. Y'all remember trying to show me a couple things last year, and it just wasn't fucking clicking.
Said nope.
Nah.
FL seemed complicated back when I was using it. It wasn't like it is now. Like
Looking back on it now, when I was first cooking up beats in Fruity Loops, like looking back at you guys using FL Studio now, like you guys like maximize its capability.
For sure.
Like I was using it so wrong back then, looking at how you guys are using it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing in it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I feel it.
Logic was just like the first one to me that just like clicked. It was easy. So then I've been stuck in it ever since. You know what I'm saying? Because like, bro, this is a personal problem of mine. It's hard for me to try to learn some new shit, like a new DAW or a new instrument, if I can't like be creative with it like right away. Like if I have to actually struggle on it, bro, it's so hard for me to want to fuck with it.
that's why I haven't fully switched over to Pro Tools yet. But I feel like it's gonna come, man. I just gotta spend some more time in there.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I be in there and be like, this shit taking too long. I don't know how to copy paste.
But you started out in FL.
Yeah. I started in GarageBand. But then Diverse, he put me on to FL Studio. And then I just started rocking with that for the longest. And then eventually I ended up picking up Pro Tools. And I had the same situation you were saying. Like, it was hard for me to switch to Pro Tools because I knew how to do everything I needed to do in FL Studio. Yeah. And I'm getting in here, I'm in a session, I'm like, damn, how I do a tape stop? I can't even make this. I can't even do a tape stop. I don't know what I'm doing.
Facts.
But now I still use FL Studio for beats. I do FL Studio for beats, and then I engineer in Pro Tools. I just recently started producing in like Pro Tools. Like, too, a little bit.
Producing?
Yeah, for sure.
Word.
A little bit.
Okay.
Not heavily, but somewhat, yeah. Because like now, recently, a lot of my production, like my vocals will be a part of the beat.
So it's like you might as well do it all in Pro Tools. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
That makes sense. Man, I was about to say, man, one thing about FL, bro, is their 808s.
Be crunchy.
It's crunchy, bro, and it's hard to get that sound in Reason.
Yeah, it's hard to get that sound in any other DAW, bro.
I stand FL. They the 808 guys.
Yeah,
Have you tried using that orange clip?
Man, I just got the T-Rex.
That one too.
T-Rex. It's called the orange clip.
Nah, I know which one you talking about. I use that one too, but nah, they made a plugin called Orange Clip that basically replicates the clipper in FL Studio to kind of recreate that crunchiness a little bit.
Yeah,
by Schwab Digital.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been smacking the fuck out of that on all my 808s, like in Pro Tools, bro.
Yeah.
And you just have to tap it too, and it's like there's the FL sound. You just have to tap it like 1 dB.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fire.
Man, hey, I gotta check it out, bro. I've been messing with T-Rex. I'm not a big 808 guy, so I might not be tweaking it the way it's supposed to be, but
T-Rex, isn't that the one that you was telling me about too? That's a clipper, or what is that?
it's like a
It's a clipper, but it's like a
compressor
whole.
kind of.
It's a whole. They have a whole line of stuff. They got like EQs, everything. But that clipper is fire. Yeah.
Yeah, the soft clipper. That's what
The
they call
yellow
it.
one with the knob.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So when you're cooking up beats, are you like cooking with artists in mind if you're cooking up for a different artist, or cooking for yourself, or is it just like I'm gonna make whatever I'm hearing and whatever happens to this beat is what happens?
Man, so like most of the time, like if I'm cooking for somebody else, like for instance, when I'm working with Rod, he'll send me a sample, and I go in and tailor that to as best as I feel like it could fit him. You feel me? But most of the time when I'm getting in there, I'm just creating
Yeah,
and trying to come up with something good, bro.
yeah,
A lot of times, bro, I will make a whole beat and then delete it. Just because I don't like it like that.
Not
bro.
feeling it.
It ain't hitting, bro. I really.
You know, LA told me that same shit, bro. He was like, I'll just delete a whole beat. I'm like, I have saved everything I've ever done since like
For real.
2012, bro, swear.
No, I definitely start something and exit out fast.
And just delete.
Start over.
Delete.
Yeah, it won't even be saved.
Yeah.
Because I like to at least come up with, that's my problem though, bro. I come up with something, then it'll crash. Like I was on Twitch the other night, bro, had a whole beat done and Reason crashed.
Nah,
Sick.
I had to go back and remake it.
crazy.
But that's just me not wanting to start nothing I can't finish or feel
sure.
like I.
Bro, I done got burned too many times with that shit. If I don't know if you've noticed in in here, but the studios are set to back Pro Tools back up every minute.
Every minute.
Every minute, bro. Like,
I gotta figure out how to do that with Reason.
Word.
and
don't
it saves
know.
like
I
the
don't know
last
if they have
200
one.
copies too. Like it just,
Save it all.
they've been too many times, bro. Like the power went out or the shit crashed or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like everything from the last
Gone.
hour was gone.
I gotta figure out that autosave feature, bro. That would save me some time, bro.
Autosave be clutch. Really, Logic too. Really be clutch with that shit too. Because if the shit crash, it will open back up and it'd be like, we emergency saved right when it crashed. Do you want to open that up? And I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yes.
If
Reason got a feature where it'd be like, we recovered these files, but it'd be like one track, bro, out of the whole. Anything you did MIDI is not saved.
It's not there.
So it'll save like the samples if you had a sample in there, but it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if you cooking up and you sending something to Rod, you think cooking up with him in mind. But when you're cooking up for yourself, is it like the vocal idea you start with sometimes, or like really you're just cooking some shit and you're like, you know what, I this one's for me.
Yeah, that's really how I go, bro. Most of the time when I do sit down, though, I'm trying to get in my songwriter bag. But man, it is times where I go in there just to make loops and experiment. But most of the time I am going in there to try to record a song. You know, for the most part, I want to leave with a finished product that at least has something to push me to tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it, bro. If I can get something good today that'll push me to tomorrow to keep going, let's do it. But
I never thought about it like that, man. Like,
Yeah.
man,
yeah.
it's really gonna make me want to do it tomorrow if I do it today.
facts.
Yeah, man, cause look, bro, the music industry can get discouraging. As an artist, bro, upcoming artist, bro, it's easy to get discouraged. So you gotta stay active.
Yeah,
And you gotta keep fuel,
yeah,
you know, because sometimes you might feel like you ready now and God's saying, nah, not yet. So you gotta just keep working, bro, and just keep coming up with what you can get.
yeah.
So that's kind of my way. Like I feel like I conquered the day if I can complete a song,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
You know, sometimes as talented as like everybody is, you know, that we hang out with in this world, is like the only thing that separates a lot of people that like did it is just they didn't quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
facts.
yeah, like
That's real,
it
bro.
might take years, you know what I'm saying? But they just didn't quit, and that's what separated them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
That's real.
So like we've been seeing you really active on like your Instagram and shit, like posting content that's just looked like super fire for
Crazy.
real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I've been trying.
yeah, for real. Like talk to us about how you've been trying. Like you've decided you've gone up the push on that social media content
Man.
recently or what?
Yeah, I mean, because like we was talking about earlier before we started recording, man, the industry is becoming so like heavily involved with like TikTok and Instagram, man. That's one of the biggest pieces of becoming an artist. You know, you have to be present on TikTok, Instagram for marketing purposes. 'Cause if you don't market, you know, nobody gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to be more active doing that, and I think it's been going well thus far. So I can't complain.
Did those HS8s survive that fall the other day that you posted?
Oh
bro?
yeah, they did, bro. They back up, posted up at the
That
house.
shit was crazy, bro. My
Yeah.
stomach dropped when I saw that
Man,
shit.
you and me both, bro.
I seen that table move. I'm like,
Yeah,
they
it
hit
was,
that corner. I'm like,
it was sturdy, man. We was trying, bro. We was out there being creative, man, and that's kind of what happens, bro. But you gotta dance in the rain.
Yeah.
Sure.
You gotta dance in the rain, bro.
So how are you like staying so consistent? You know what I'm saying, with like the quantity and the quality? Because like the quality of everything's been great, but now it's like bam, 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 bam.
Man,
recently.
honestly, that's something I've been working on, bro, because when it comes to social media, I'm not really a social media person. So that's something I have been working on and forcing myself to be more adamant about. Like, bro, get up, post. I know you don't like the camera, you hate being in front of the camera, but you gotta do it. If this is where you want to go, you got to do this. So
Right.
it's just a mindset that I've been trying to, you know, make work.
Yeah.
You know, bring to fruition, bro. Like, it's not that hard. Get up. If you don't have the greatest idea, bro, just roll the camera. You never know.
Right.
All it take is one song.
Right.
That's all it take is one
sure.
song, bro. And if you can get that right piece of content, man, you never know what your life will look like in a year.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer in that. We done seen it too many times
Yeah.
to not buy into it, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of, you know how people say, you'll hear like producers or artists say like they didn't know that one was going to be the hit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some shit they didn't think was a hit ended up being the hit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same with like social media sometimes too. Like you post some shit thinking it's whatever, goes crazy.
Yeah.
You post something you think is fire and it kind of is DOA. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So it's
facts.
like, it's kind of the same vibe.
You be in the studio like this the one. When you
Yeah.
see it,
Yeah.
post it. Nothing.
Say the one.
But,
Nah,
but like some little shit you shot on the corner go crazy.
yeah,
yeah.
that's true, bro. That's so true. You just gotta stay down, stay consistent, though.
I appreciate the mindset you're saying too, because it's like I've kind of been trying to preach to artists a little bit too. Like it's 2025. I know you don't like that camera, but you got to get on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, bro.
the only way to the top is through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Through that
So,
lens.
yeah.
Yeah, I ain't seen nobody do it without it. Not in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Are there any like certain social media strategies that you find are working for you specifically, or like shit that's not working that you see work for other people?
I feel like what works for me is just kind of like the raw realness. Like I posted a couple weeks ago, me and my boy fishing, you know, and that one did numbers.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like, yeah, I've been posting stuff all, but people want to know your personal life so bad, you know. It's just because a lot of people don't know you, so they kind of find that type of thing intriguing, you know, which I understand, bro, if you like music and whatnot. So sometimes, like you were saying, I feel like, man, this would be a viral one and wasn't, and then they gravitate more towards the, you know, your personal life things, you know, for, I guess, it's intriguing to know how an artist lives day to day. So it's kind of a slippery slope when it comes to that.
You guys think like that's like too much in like 2025 sometimes? Like
I do.
everybody got to know what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it can be, bro, and that's the overwhelming part as an artist, because you kind of give up that part of your private life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody really, man, there's a certain point where you can't do the things that a day-to-day person would do. And the thought of it is like, dang, do I really want this? So yeah, I have my days where I'm like, man, do I really want to be an artist? But at this point, I feel like it's a calling that I have, bro, in a season that I got to walk in. So that's why I do it. I can't make the decision for nobody else to go and put their, personal business or whatever out there, or personal life, kids. I respect it. A lot of people don't show their kids on the internet. The internet is evil.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people who use the internet just looking for things to talk about, bro, or something to make their day with. So I get that part, but at the same time, man, at this point, you bite the bullet. If this is your calling and this is who you believe you're supposed to be, you got to do it.
Yeah.
With great calling comes great responsibility. So that's how I take it. Hey, we here.
I know you said that you had started out like as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
When did the artistry come into play? Like, when was that? Like, okay, I can do this.
It's really all a blur, bro, to be honest with you. I started making beats at 14. And I really didn't know nothing about beats, bro. I was just trying stuff. So, but I like to say I think it was my sister who told me this. I can't remember the person, but I'm pretty sure it was my oldest sister who was like, she had introduced me. She said, yeah, this is my brother here, producer. And I'm like, producer? I ain't no producer yet. She's like, yes, you are. You make beats, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so you a producer? So from that day on, I started calling myself a producer. So this is from like 14 to now. Mm-hmm. So the lines kind of get blurred. I definitely did start producing earlier, but I didn't put out my first body of work until college, which was in like 2022. So,
for sure.
Yeah, that was when I was making beats for guys who rapped on the football team in the dorm room. And then I was making a lot of beats that wasn't being used. And I was like, man, why don't I just get on them? And that's kind of how it started, bro. I never grew up singing, bro. I only been singing for like since 2022. That's when I started singing. Is what?
For sure.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So you've only been singing
2019 or something.
Either way, you've only
in
been
college,
singing for
bro.
5 years.
It was my junior year in college. I put out my first song, going into my junior year that summer.
But either way, you've only been singing for like 5 years.
Yeah, not long, bro. I've not been singing long at all.
That's crazy.
My first song, I think, was in like 2019, 2018, one of the two. But
yeah,
that's when I picked up the mic, bro, and put the auto-tune on. Like, man, I'm gonna just try it, bro.
So you was just recording in the dorm room too back then?
Yeah, I was recording in the dorm. I was recording other people at the time. So like all my homeboys would pull up and record, and I'm just, bro, I don't know nothing about mixing at this time, bro. We just trying shit, and that's it.
That's hard.
Yeah.
What school was this? Where were you at?
This was Southeastern Louisiana University in Hammond, Louisiana. But I was making beats in Hutch. Well, I think I did record like 1 or 2 people, but at that time I had still never touched the microphone myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That was the origin, bro. A lot of my teammates would be like, bro, this is actually hard, bro. You should. First song I put on SoundCloud had got like 15K. I was like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. Hey everyone, Code Red here. If you like the way this podcast looks and sounds, it's filmed on location at Code Red Productions. We handle all your audio needs for music, commercials, and podcasts. You can find us on Instagram or Facebook at Code Red Productions KC, or visit our website, coderedproductionskc.com. We'll see you here. Back to the show. Something you said though was interesting to me. Like you said you were making beats, but you're like, I'm not a producer yet.
Yeah.
But your sister was like, yeah, you're a producer.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can answer this too. Like when were you just like, yeah, I'm a producer? You know what I'm saying? Like,
shoot, as soon as I finished watching Straight Outta Compton, that's literally what it was. For real. Yeah. That's what opened my mind up to producing. I was like, oh snap, somebody got to make the beat. Like,
yeah.
I opened up GarageBand. My homie named Jaime, he showed me. He was like, "Yeah, bro, I just cooked this up on the computer, on the school computer. It's GarageBand." I'm like, "Oh, word. Let me go see what that's about." And since then, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a producer."
Yeah,
made it happen.
That's about the same for me though, bro. Like, since my sister said that, that's when I make the beat, man. I try to start walking in it. Like, I'm a producer.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times our mindset can hold us back. Like if we hinder ourselves and say, "Oh, I'm not a producer yet," but one day, or even labeling ourselves as an upcoming producer, that can have a negative connotation. Like, bro, you ain't upcoming, bro. You a producer. You just ain't got placements yet. I feel like art is the one thing, and I heard somebody else say this. I can't remember who it was. They said art is the one thing where you can be the greatest in the world at it, and nobody knows.
It's crazy. It's true too, though.
You can be Picasso in your bedroom, but if nobody seen your artwork,
yeah.
Same go with any type of art, bro. So it's just walking in what you love and what you do, bro. If you make beats, you a producer.
Yeah.
Or a beat maker. I don't know if y'all want to get all technical. I say producer, bro, because that's producing, right?
Yeah,
Making a beat, or people I ain't produce, that's beat making. Well, you a beat maker. It's people who beat makers who make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Either way it go, bro, you doing the job. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Is it kind of one of those things where it's like all beat makers are producers, but not all producers are beat makers? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Beat maker. Dang, it depends on how you define the word, bro.
Yeah.
How do you define producer?
Yeah.
Because you could think about like Quincy Jones, like he necessarily probably not finna go make the actual beat, but
he's writing it.
He know what that mud need to sound like.
Yeah.
What needs to go.
He telling everybody what they need to do.
Yeah.
He crafting the vision. He see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, back then though, talking about Quincy, there wasn't like even beat makers wasn't even a job back then yet. You know what I'm saying? Though more in the modern era though, like you know what I'm saying, like a hit maker or something. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's crafting the songs is a producer. He might not have made the beat. You know what I'm saying? So like all beat makers are producers, but not all producers are beat makers type shit.
Beat maker.
Okay. Leon Thomas type.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if he make beats or not.
Yeah.
I know he be songwriting.
What I just don't like to do is sometimes when people don't play or make their own loops, they get labeled as like beat makers. We're like, nah, yeah, that's a producer too,
for sure.
You feel me? Just because he don't make his own loops and do this shit, that don't put salt on his name and discredit his artistic ability to make a hit or a great beat.
Yeah.
So I feel like the lines get blurred when people try to like kind of take away the title of producer from somebody who is, essentially doing the same thing, just a different way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because it's not many just like producers left out there who are in the rooms with these artists, like they used to do back in the day. Writing the song and sing this like that. Like that's almost like non-existent in the arena I'm in.
Yeah.
But if it is, shout out to those guys, but that don't discredit the guys who still sitting in these packs.
Yeah.
And still making bangers.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, there's still, sending packs is still probably the number one play to get a plate.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But it's like engineering and producing has damn near become like intertwined as well. So like you're saying, like the producers aren't in the room, but like the engineers sitting there producing the fucking song too. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Or when you're recording with somebody,
Yeah.
or you're recording them, or you're recording yourself, essentially producing the song. You know what I'm saying, like that, or you too. You know what I'm saying, like how often are you producing as you're engineering, but it's just under engineering.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
Yeah.
Sure. 100%. Mm-hmm. So I kind of be liking, like, I know you were saying, like, people be trying to knock people for, like, not doing every single job. They just making the beat with the loops. Yeah. But I be appreciating, like, our session that we be having, like, when we be working with T's, like, everybody in there got an input on something. Like, we trying to work it. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
We working this song just till it gets to what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everybody got their hands on it.
Shout out T's.
Shout out to T's, man. Up and coming, man. We got a single we finna drop next Thursday. I think that's the 17th, right?
I believe so.
Yep. Lie to Me coming out. So man, y'all tap in, man. T's next up for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Are you ever coming up with like a lyric or vocal idea in your head before you start to hit the production side?
Oh man, yeah, but very rarely though. Very rarely, like I might pull out my phone and record something if I got a melody. Mm-hmm. But by the time I play it back, most times I'm like, damn, I forgot the instruments I had in my mind.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just have a video and be like, all right.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I got to hear the beat first and then feed off of. Man, and shout out to my boy Jeff Wendell in Houston, man, one of the coldest engineers out there. But I was locked in with him for like probably like 3 or 4 days back to back, and we was making beats, and he was like, man, what you feel? He just kept saying it like, what you feel when you hear it, what you feel, bro? This is how it make you feel. And I was like, man, for some reason, bro, prior to that moment, I was kind of making music off of like what made sense, like as far as like theory, this chord progression, and yeah, it sounds good and it makes sense on paper, but does it have a feeling? So man, I forgot what I was even responding to, but that made
I'm
me.
listening though. I'm like,
That made me. That just made me. I think it was basically on a point of just as far as like producing. It made me approach it differently.
Yeah.
As far as the beat, you asked if I record.
Have you ever come up with a vocal idea?
A vocal
Yeah.
first, and that's what I was saying. As far as the beat, when you construct the beat, it has to have a feeling, and then once you get that feeling, I can come up with a melody, not words, but most of the time I come up with some sort of melody that feels right on the beat, and then based off of like the gibberish I'm saying, what words make sense in that section. That's how I'll come up with a song a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of everywhere. But.
So you're mixing like sampling and like some instrumentation together when you're creating. Are you like starting with the samples first a lot? Because you said like Rod might send you a sample, or like you had a sample on Dance in the Rain. Are you starting with a sample a bunch?
Yeah, I will. I mean, if I got a sample idea or I'm supposed to sample some shit, yeah, absolutely. I strip the vocals and bam, sample it. So.
Yeah. How are you finding samples? Is it just something like you said, Dance in the Rain sample was like something you just remember from when you was a kid, but are you like digging for shit too?
Yeah, I will. It just depends on the like the mood I'm in, I guess. But for Dance in the Rain, man, I'm not 100% sure. I might have had a loop going already, and that song might have just been in my head, and then I put it on there. But it's either one or the other. Either I'm gonna start with the sample and add keys, or I'm gonna have a loop going and then listen to it. If I start singing something else to it, then I'll add a sample in. Mm-hmm. But it just depends, I guess. Yeah.
That's tough. So that's kind of what happened. Like you was playing maybe the keys on Dance with the Rain first, and then you added that sample?
I can't really remember how and what order, but not at this moment, but pretty sure. 90% of the time I strip the vocals of a sample.
Yeah.
Play on it. So
that's tough.
Yeah. I'm on like 99% of the time, bro. Well, I'm just being meticulous right now. I don't know to be exact, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be sampling. I'll be going for the drums, like because I'll sample like an old school song and pull the drums from it, or a modern song. I'll strip the drums from it and then go from there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hard too.
Yeah. Are you freestyling or are you writing when you're doing your lyrics and shit?
Freestyling, bro. It's really like a gibberish, though. Like, you know,
to get the melodies.
And you're writing around the songs, now just fill it in with whatever, bro. Like that's how I do it. Then nowadays, bro, it's get creative where like they got ChatGPT, bro. So like if I'm looking for a phrase or something and I can't find it, I'll pull it up right on there.
Yeah.
What rhymes with this, you know, and then make it my own.
For sure.
I never really just take it and just I always make it my own. Yeah.
It just gives you like the basic idea maybe to run with.
Inspiration.
Yeah, as far as like when it comes to rhyme patterns, bro, because we in a day and age where like numbers matter. Like you got to have a lot of work, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of material. So to speed up the process, that's definitely a great tool to use, bro.
Yeah.
Tools like ChatGPT, then they got one called like Rhymer's Block. They give you just a bunch of words that rhyme with whatever. So those type of tools I use, but they tools. You still got to make the song.
Right.
You feel me? Fit for you.
Let's get into that a little bit though. Like,
Yeah.
I remember you had a session here. You were cooking up with LA, and you had mentioned some like AI site where you were able to get like a female vocal or something.
Yeah.
So like, what else are you using AI for?
I got AI. I wish I got the AI back. Man, nah, for real. Suno is one of the ones. You see Timberland, who getting a lot of like lash right now.
Yeah.
Or backlash rather for using AI. But I feel like it's all on how you use it.
Yeah.
And what you do with it. Are you using it as like a means of, I'm about to let AI make this song? Or are you using it as a tool like you would any other plugin? You know, it all depends on. So like there's one, Suno, which will come up with, Suno, you could type in any vibe you want. And then it'll spit out a whole song at you. And it's yours. And this sound like an ad right now. It's just not paid. But it'll spit out a whole song, bro. It give you lyrics, instrumental, whatever, and it's yours. And you can sample that. That can save producers a lot of time and money from trying to clear a sample.
Yeah.
But you can type in an 80s type sample. Bam, load up.
Yeah.
And then another website I was using is Audio Me, which is like a vocal changer. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of the times in my old music, you hear me sample my own voice. But sometimes that can get redundant. Like I'll sing something and then pitch it down and put like a phaser on it to, you know, make it sound. But at some point, it comes a time where you like, what's new? So now they got tools where you can change your voice to, any style you're looking for that you admire and maybe can't reach that person. You can upload it to Audio Me and it'll give you different voices. And you upload it, you write your own shit, and bam, drag it in your DAW. So, yeah. I think it's a tool, bro. Like, AI get a lot of backlash, which, man, I get, but I feel like it mostly comes from fear. People who are afraid of AI taking over the music industry. But I don't think that's possible because AI is not human. It can't feel emotions. You know, it's a robot.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, humans are the only ones who are going to be able to produce that type of raw emotion when it comes to like melodies and lyrics in a song ultimately. So that's why I use it to be creative, bro, and just to try new things, bro. Like, you got to just try shit as an artist, bro. If you ain't experimenting, bro, you fucking up.
That's why I'm asking like what you're doing, because like I'm interested to hear like how people are using the tools. You know what I'm saying? Because like in 2025, if you ain't using AI tools, you're gonna fall behind. It just is what it is.
That's how I'm using it.
Yeah.
If I do, I haven't used a lot of Suno yet, but I do have some songs that I have like in the vault, but I haven't sampled any of them. But I have used Audio Me, which is like a voice changer.
To change your voice.
I sing something and then have it sound like it's somebody else singing it, so it's not as like redundant.
Right. It gives you,
it's all me. It gives you versatility.
Gives you a whole nother layer.
Yeah.
Like something new.
Yeah.
What do you think about like how Timbo was trying to play it with the AI artist? And
man, I'm not too familiar with what he did. I just know he getting a lot of backlash. But if he, did it in a way where he just, hey, I signed an AI artist, that's obviously an eye opener. Like, you did what?
Yeah.
You signed an AI artist? How?
Yeah.
AI can't even sign a paper. So it's very it's very interesting to follow. I think it's brilliant marketing. It got the whole world speaking on it, but I don't necessarily see anything wrong with using AI.
Yeah.
As long as you're being creative and adding your own sauce to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like collabing with anybody, except it's just a robot.
I agree. It
What
has
you
to
saying?
be.
Fuck all the robots.
It has to be a tool.
That's a robot. We can't use it. Our computers is robots.
For real.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, all right, what are we really mad at, y'all?
Right.
Like,
And I think the fear is what you're saying is like people, producers out here, or engineers or artists even think like they're gonna be out of doing this because the computer can just do it instantly better or something. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think it could be that. I think it could be the fear of, man, AI is getting crazy and it's finna take over the world.
yeah,
It could be a lot of stuff, but you can't let that stuff hinder you. If it's gonna help you be creative, let's just not exit out all the way.
yeah,
It ain't. I don't see it doing that. If we get there, it's the end of the world, bro.
yeah.
iRobot type shit. But I don't see that happening. I just see it as a tool to be creative and use, bro. Like, you ain't gotta take the whole shit. Just make it your own.
Right.
Pull from it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
pull from it like you would any other sample.
Right.
From any other creative.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that you're saying that you produce for Rod Wave. How did that get set up? Like, what did that look like? And
Man, that was God.
and looking back on you saying that you started at 13, was that something that you even envisioned being a thing?
Nah, bro. All right, so I was working at UPS. I think I told this story on TikTok before. But I was working at UPS, bro, and I got fired. And at that moment, I was like, man, they done fired me for some BS. I'm finna just do this music, bro. I didn't have no plan. No plan, y'all. I just got fired from UPS as a driver, making great money. All I knew was I want to do music. And I believe this is my calling. That's all I knew when I left my job. And I'm not telling other people to do that. I'm just saying this is my testimony. This is my experience, bro. Like, I left UPS and, man, my homeboy Lay was in Kansas. He was like, man, come back to Dallas with me. So I went back to Dallas with him for a couple days. Met his mom. She has a condition called lupus. Mm-hmm. So her doctor had gotten really close with her. So her doctor, it's a long story, but her doctor has a daughter who plays guitar, who is dope and she can sing. So she was like, man, I got to get you up with Zyja. Her name is Zyja. She's a phenomenal artist. It's XYZSA. And she makes great music. She's like, I got to get you up with Zyja. So we was in Dallas. We went to Zyja's house. We recorded like 2 songs. And then her dad was like, man, they got this production manager who lives across the way. Let me call him and see if he can check out the music. He called him. Rest in peace, Maceo. But at the time, Maceo was Rod's production manager. So he wasn't supposed to be able to make it because he had a tour rehearsal for somebody else. So he was like, man, I can't make it, whatever. Calls back like an hour later. Man, tour rehearsal just got canceled. It never happens. I'm going to be back home the first flight in the morning. So he gets there. And, man, I was supposed to leave, but we stayed a little longer. Came back, met up with him, played him the songs. He loved them. We got connected, stayed connected. I went back home 2 weeks later. He's like, man, something happened with my piano player. I got a job for you. I'm about to send you a song, play it on piano, and send it back to me. So he sent over green light. So I'm in that bit playing. And I sent it to him. Man, I waited like an hour, bro. Didn't hear nothing. Thought it was over with. And he texted me or called, one of the two. And ended up getting on the phone with him. And he was like, he's like, man, I got some not so great news. I was like, dang. I was like, bro, I'm over here redoing it right now. I'm trying to. He's like, man, I got some great news. You going on tour. And that was it. Like, I went on the Soulfly tour playing piano for Rod Wave, bro. That shit was incredible. And then after that, not even after that, during that, the first day of tour rehearsal with Rod, I met his cousin, DJ Fizz and Fade, and I was like, bro, I make beats, bro. So if you need something, bro, let me know. He like, let me hear him. So I got my computer over there, put the headphones on, play the beat. It's mad loud. He's like, turn it down. Fade don't like loud music and shit, so turned it down. He's like, all right, it's straight. Yeah, all right, okay. So I gave him my number, and then we just developed a relationship from there. And then after the tour is when I picked up with the content, and I ended up just posting. And Fade shared one of my posts, and Rod seen it and swiped up on it and was like, man, you a star, bro. Why you ain't signed yet? Man, can you come to Tampa or Miami? One of the two. Went out there, and the rest was history, bro. Shit changed my life. But long story.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's just how God works. Like stuff like that, bro. You can't plan. Like even when it don't make sense. You know, even as flawed as we are, bro. Like if you feel like the Lord is telling you to do something, you got to do it, even if it don't make sense, bro. Like, not to preach on y'all, but that's just who I am as a person, bro. I'm very big on faith in God. Yeah, I know for a fact that with God connecting me with Rod,
and you just jumped 2 feet in and just divine timing.
Yeah, facts. Absolutely. Yeah,
that's a crazy story.
Yeah,
and you've opened
Real
up
life.
for some of his shows too.
Yeah.
What's that
2
like
tours.
being on stage in front of like? What's that? Talk about
nerve wracking, bro. Like we were saying earlier, bro. I never really was considered myself as a singer. So like getting out there, bro, I'm like, I felt like David up against Goliath. Like I'm David, the crowd is Goliath. Like bro, I ain't even fit for this. I don't sing that good. I feel like I don't sing live. I ain't never really performed, but this where God blessed me to be. You feel me? So I'm out here. I'm gonna take that opportunity and go make the most of it, man. And it was a blessing, bro.
Yeah,
I learned a lot, man. Very nerve wracking, though, bro. I learned a lot. It was nerve wracking. I overcame. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I grew, bro, and I learned I could really do this. Like,
yeah.
I'm here.
For sure.
I'm here. Like, it's one of them things like I was talking about earlier, as far as knowing where you are. Like, even with me saying I'm not the best singer, as far as knowing, like, dude, you are a singer. You are a songwriter. You are an artist. You here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a real human, bro. A lot of other people might come on here and just whatever, but me, I'm a human, so I'm gonna let you know my flaw. But this how I was feeling when I was up there. I was nervous, but it was a blessing, bro. I learned a lot. You feel me? I gained a lot of fans. You know, it was a great experience, bro. I wouldn't take it back for the world.
So would you say now, after, you know, having those experiences, now you've released a couple of your own projects, you know, new music on the way. Do you consider yourself a singer now? Do you see yourself as like a singer and artist like first?
I try to. I mean, when I do sing, yeah, but I see myself as an artist, as you said, bro. Like, I just like to create and make music. So whether that fall under producer or singer or R&B, that's what, you know. Probably most people label me as an R&B when, you know, I just feel like I make music.
Yeah. That was what I was going to ask you too. Like everything that you do, the production, the singing, the artistry, it's all just Eelmatic. It's no like separate parts. It's just all you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, like, as far as, wait, can you elaborate? There's no separate parts as far as...
I just mean, like, you don't try to, like, separate the different parts of your music, like producing and artistry. You keep everything's just authentically you, one person. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess so. Ain't that the only way?
Yeah.
Is it another way to do it?
I don't know. You see some people,
I think that's the only way I could.
You see some people maybe, you know, move differently for the production side.
Oh,
silently.
yeah.
Like have a different name.
Yeah.
or something.
Exactly.
Like,
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I kind of like the intertwining because I feel like that's who I am as a creative. You know, why not? That's how I look at it. Why not? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You got anything else, Scorpsky?
No, I done talked to y'all ears off today.
No, this has been fun, man. I appreciate it.
For sure.
No, it's been dope for sure. My first interview, man. Shout out to Cold Red Productions. Y'all, I appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate you, man.
Just you slide through.
Heck yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up then, fellas. That's it for us. At Code Red KC, at We Got One Scorp, at Eelmatic, This Go Crazy. Eelmatic,
Sure.
thank you, bro.
Man, appreciate y'all, boy.
For sure.
For sure.
TraKCouts, bouncing out. Peace, y'all.